watchtower on. Welcome back, and here we have it again, another watchtower. Now this one is just below the village, and it's near another one of our main camps, which is marked just over here somewhere, which I'll go and show you in a few minutes. Now, like other watchtowers out and about, these ones are guarded. They have to be, because of course they're around predators, they're around animals. Sorry about that, wrong button. Got to hop up here. Come on inside. Got multiple guys watching the place. As I said, there's a local camp nearby, and it's got a view of the village, so should it need to pass on a message, it can do so very easily. And as I said, it's placed in an up position with the traps down at the bottom to protect it, give it a bit extra layer of protection, because of course there are animals out here, there are predators. There's going to be animals that are going to be dangerous to the people out here, well, in theory. And up here we have one of the external camps. Now these camps are built... Ooh, hello Mr. Spider. Like I said, you need traps out and about here. Now these camps are built for those who are out and about. So the hunters, the gatherers, the scouts, the cutters and everything like that. These are people that are going to be out and about quite a lot. So you very rarely actually see them up in the main village. These guys are more likely to be out here with all these different camps on it. Now the place of these camps is rather simply, if you're out and about and it starts getting dark or it starts getting dangerous, you can retreat to one of these camps, which are always in relatively safe locations, and you would be safe there. So you can get in here, you can get some grub, you can get a drink of water if you need to, as well as that you've got some protection and you can get a bit of rest. Or say if you're wounded, you can come here and there'll be a healer here to look after you until you can get back home to the main village. Same as always, you got a proper tower. This one's a bit bigger because it's next to a main camp, but it's next to the primary camp, should I say, with proper lookout positions. You've got ways of looking around. You can see any dangers that need to be around. You've got a good view of the entrance there where you come up, so if you need to, so if anything's happening, they can warn people as they're coming along. Got a good view of everything, and as always, you've got a view to the next watchtower along, so they can inform the tower if they need to. Right, I'll pause here for a second and I'll meet you again at the next watchtower. Hello, 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 and here we are at the next watchtower. Now this is one of the Koi warriors sections. As you can see, look, we've got a couple of night watchman guys. They're just simply here for a few days. Probably go back to the village soon. Got a good old Koi warrior. Bloody hell, I hate when I do this. Do apologise. I seem to have hit something. There we go, nice and clean. Got to keep it all in good order. Got a healer here as normal. Got the warriors looking out. Some scouts. And of course, being this is next to the pond, this is where these guys, the Koi guys, sorry, they'll be going out to the water. As you can see, look, he's got his bubble on, he's got his flippers. And these guys basically will go into the water and get some extra food. So things like meats from the tadpoles, as well as extra bits and bobs. As normal, look, you can see the next watchtower along, just further along the lake. As well as that, you can see another tower further along, just a little bit but primarily, of course, you've got the main watchtower on the village over there. So it's got a good position. It's defended by the external wall of spikes, but as well as that, it's got people looking out over it. So it's nice. It's a nice, well-defended location. Here we have our final Koi section. Nice and well done. I'm going to deal with that later. Yet again, you've got another scout in here informing things, as well as that you can pass on a message if he needs to. Same plan as last time, circular structure, with a little bit of a working shed if they need to. As well as that, you've got a nice ring of protection around to keep an eye on things, so it's going really well. So these guys, of course, they can see the next watchtower along, so they can pass on a message if they need to. It's starting to get a little bit dark now, but luckily we're near to another camp. And like I said, as always, these places are locations where those who are out and about, the hunters and the gatherers, they can take shelter in if they need to, or they can get a bit of food and grub like that. Bit haphazard, but that's really the idea. Of course, they're not meant to be here full time. They're only going to be stopping here as and when needed. Got a couple of hunters about. You got a good stand-up ladder. A bit of guardrails, of course. And of course, you've got the defenders and the scouts out and about. Same plan as always, circular tower, but hey ho. Tally ho. Need to cut that down. Got a healer as always, primarily scouts, hunters, and gatherers, with a constant watch out, of course, because of course this is where insects like to hang out. Now, I think before it gets too dark, I might be able to make a quick run for the next one. And here we have the tree camp. Now, this is another one of the external camps. Yes, I know there's a little thing nearby. Now, these locations are all built up, like I said, for people when they're out and about, so they can get in, get some shelter, get a bit of food if they need it, as well as that they can get some sleep. Same plan as always. No real watchtower here because there's no real necessity to, because it's within close proximity to that village over there, that camp over there, sorry, and it's got a good view around, so it doesn't really need a watchtower. A couple of guys are out and about, so of course over here, look, you've got someone who's watching a way that can be an animal can get up, but primarily everyone's just laid back and relaxed. Hey, come on, you need to do something, right? Before I actually do traverse onto the next camp, which will be just over there, the hedgerows, I want to go into a bit more of the scenario, if I may, into why exactly I built these things. Well, my scenario is rather simply this, that instead of being one great big tribe, originally, according to the history of my little scenario, these people weren't one tribe one time. They were actually multiple tribes. There were multiple small little gatherings of people trying barely to survive, and often ended up fighting each other in the quest for food and resources, very much like the Haudenosaunee or the Iroquois and the Confederacy. And eventually, of course, these tribes came together, grouped together, and formed one nation in an effort to try and really save themselves, because in real truth, if you're fighting each other constantly, you're not surviving, you're just existing. You're just existing. You're not really living. You're not really surviving. You're just existing. So, like I said, they originally were multiple tribes, but now they've regrouped into a single nation in an effort to try and build a better life for themselves. And now we'll see you all later on in a few minutes when I can actually get this character to sleep, get the sun back up, and I will see you at the next camp. And here we are at the Hedge camp. Now this is the final and furthest of the encampments of the tribe. So it's going to be a bit haphazard but with the way it's constructed, but that's really the idea. It's just basically something that's been hashed out, put together rather quickly and rather rapidly. There's only one real way up, and that's very awkward on itself, so a bit of extra defence there, because of course this will be rather difficult for a big old spider to get this little twiddly this little twig, if you will. But if they do, there's someone here watching over the place. Oh, I like the idea. I'll put it around here. It's rather easy. Places where they can kick around, mess around, whatnot. Plenty of lights, because of course it will get dark in here. Got some bridges going across. You've got lots of people about. Loads of places where they can hook up, slange around and everything. And more, what I really love about this particular creation I have made is that it's interwoven into the branches of this particular hedgerow. So bits and parts are hooked onto other areas. There's no real coordination, if you will. It's just basically hit and miss with certain builds. So certain things here, look, for example, I've built between the two branches there. There's ways across. There's no real system to it. And there's the reason, because one wrong slip and you fall. You see, one little slip and you're on the floor again. Or if I wasn't in creative, I'd probably be dead from a fall like that. But that gives this camp a little bit of extra defense, because, of course, it's going to want to be hit and miss. It's going to want to be defendable. It's going to want to have some element of defense that's more than just people looking around or people milling around or just standing guard. You're going to want some form of extra defense. Let me see if I can get to the really tip top of the village, the camp. Okay, if I go this way. Right around up to here. Past the makeshift infirmary. As always, every camp's got one. You need at least one healer for every camp, of course. Because, of course, people are going to get hurt. They're going to get injured. Leading all the way up. Hopefully I won't fall again. Rather annoying when I was building the whole place. All the way up round to another section here, look. more guys milling around, a couple of people messing around. Got the far watch over there, so he'll keep an eye on that way, all the way up to the forward watch here. And I especially love this view because, let me see if I can get to the very tip. To the very tip of these branches. You can just see how beautiful it is. I mean, Obsidian, you guys have made a fantastic game. I mean, look at the bloody view of this place. You've got a cracking good view. Different biomes. You've got the grasses, you've got the dry grass, you've got the gas area over there where you need to have a gas mask on if you're not in creative. Where you'll find like all weird different creatures that are all infected with stuff. You've got the rock ledges, you've got the big machine over there. You've got the rock ledges, you've got the roses, the pond. And you can see, look, you can see all the bugs flying around in the distance, you can see the bees. And of course finally over there you've got the two final watchtowers, which are yet again in close proximity so they can see each other. And that's really all I got to show you guys. I'll quickly run onto the map so I can explain a few things. So as you can see, we've got all different kinds. Important markers, a little bit of explanation of course. The white one, that's a tunnel. So that's basically where you can get in about different places. God, I love this game. It's very good. And if you look very carefully, very different ones. The green ones, of course, these stars. Got the home base here. You've got the two watchtowers by the gate here. Primarily, they're all focused around the pond because, of course, everything's going to be near the pond. You're more likely to find food there because of animals and such. So it's rather an important place to be. I rather hope you have enjoyed this video, guys, and I rather hope you enjoyed my scenario of this particular game and this little custom people I've created. I know it's a bit weird with the mannequins, but it's the best I could really do. I hope you all have enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again in a different video, maybe of a different scenario. Do enjoy, everybody.